The stupendous increase in e-commerce, the jaw-dropping valuations that some of the online startups are getting, and an almost explosion that we are seeing in the use of handheld devices as well as mobile apps. All these trends have clearly transformed the retail as well as technology landscape of India. Hello and welcome to this very, very special panel discussion on a trend that impacts each one of us. More clicks than bricks. Can e-commerce really replace traditional retail? And we've got someone who represents just about every aspect of this debate joining us. We've got Kunal Bahel, CEO and founder of Snapdeal. Also joining us, Mr. Sunil Kaushal, CEO of Standard Chartered Bank. Mr. Rajat Wahi, partner, consumer and retail, KPMG India. And to the extreme right, we've got Mr. Arvind Singhal, chairman of Technopak. We're essentially trying to understand in this session the growth of the e-commerce market. How real is it? Are we going to see a shakeout given the huge competition and undercutting? Can the logistics infrastructure really keep pace with the kind of explosion we are seeing in the online order book? Can the formats of e-tail and traditional retail really coexist? And of course, the larger question of regulation. Where do we go here on? Should we have the government interfering at all? Or should the government just let the e-commerce or the online market or the internet industry be? Let me start by actually asking Kunal Bahel, who's really seen the growth of this business, who's taken advantage of the e-commerce market in a way that perhaps very few players have managed to do. Kunal, share with us your experience, share with us how vibrant is India's e-commerce market, and are players like Snapdeal really giving traditional retailers a run for their money?
Well, thanks for having me here. It's a pretty broad question. And I feel there are a lot of misconceptions about the impact of e-commerce also. Some people see it as a very good thing. Some people see it as a bad thing. At a meta level, one thing is for sure, e-commerce is here to stay. As it has been in every other economy of the world, e-commerce has always been seen to grow and seen to create quite a lot of impact for any economy, for consumers, for businesses, for brands, for even retailers for that matter. But the world of business, whether it's e-commerce or anything else, is very Darwinian in nature. And companies that evolve and take benefit of new trends benefit and grow and achieve great things, and companies that don't fall away. And that's happened in every industry of the world over and over again. Our goal has been very simple, that how can we create a technology platform that can enable creation of life-changing experiences for small and large businesses equally. But the small businesses need it a lot more than the large businesses because they don't have the capital to be on main streets or in the malls. So when we set out to build our business, most e-commerce players in the country were actually buying and selling inventory, right? And our goal was that, hey, that doesn't solve a real problem in this market. What is really going to solve a problem in this market is how do you aggregate the long tail of supply with the many, many millions of small businesses across the country and offer it up offer it up to the demand that exists across the 5,000 towns and cities of India. So we are now at about over 100,000 businesses who sell on our platform. And our goal is to take it to 1 million businesses over the next 3 years. Because at that point in time, I feel we would have successfully potentially moved the needle for India a little bit, right? As a company and potentially as an industry also. A lot of people, to your point, say that, hey, is it hurting retail? It's hurting a retailer as much as the neighboring retailer hurts that retailer. If we don't compete with any retailer, a lot of the large and small retailers of India actually sell on our platform. Because
you're an aggregator today, you don't see yourself as a competitor to the traditional retail format. Is that correct?
Yeah, because we don't have any product of our own, right? So it's important for us to really see our business from that lens, that anyone who wants to sell, it could be the largest retailer of the country or the smallest small business working out of a home. 30% of the sellers on our platform are actually women. And so we are quite agnostic that way. So I actually think it's about retailers need to take advantage of these platforms that have gotten created and not see them necessarily as competition.
It's an important point that Kunal has raised, and I'd like to take that to Mr. Arvind Singhal. Do you think the lines are really blurring? Do you think even asking questions as to whether one format, the online format, for instance, is threatening the existing format, which is conventional store-based retail, are questions that shouldn't even be asked, because at the end of the day, lines are getting blurred. So you have the traditional retailers selling online. You also have cases of online players getting into the traditional retail format. So it's really those lines that are now getting blurred, and it's an overall pie that we need to look at.
I agree with you fully, because like every kind of a very fundamental transformational change, e-business, e-economy is one of those transformations which are taking place across the world. The single biggest trend which these e-businesses are enabling is from the producer to the consumer directly. And wherever you can disintermediate, you can do so. So news dissemination, entertainment dissemination, books, we know that in any case in digital form,
right.
And now merchandise. In that context, whosoever is able to be more efficient in bringing the producer to the consumer, that is what the real change is all about. It's not about whether you are a small physical retailer, a large physical retailer, a wholesaler, or a distributor. For far too long in our country, the debate has only focused on ownership, in fact, not even the format.
Sure.
Who owns
but
it?
as someone who really understands this market, who's been a consultant, who's actually done the numbers, do you still say that it's fair to say, okay, a large part of the shopping experience is moving from traditional to online? Are those numbers important to track? Is it important to find out those trends, that you have a market where people were going to a mall to shop and now they prefer to go online and shop on one of their favorite sites?
Yeah, of course, we track it almost all the time.
Right.
But then you have to be very careful. You cannot aggregate what is happening in Saket, Select City Walk with
Sure.
what is happening in Muzaffarnagar, which is not so far from here.
Right.
You cannot even aggregate what is happening, let's say, in Mumbai with what might be happening in Thane.
And
There.
why do you say that?
So it's very, very important to understand the customer who's living in south of Delhi, or most of Delhi, an affluent customer, is time poor, option rich. E-commerce is an enabler for them to save some time. They can go out and party more or do whatever is in their lives.
Right.
Person who's in Muzaffarnagar, availability is a big challenge.
Sure. So
There.
it helps both.
It helps everybody, but
Right.
for different reasons
Right.
altogether. Somebody who is very poor, and half of India or 2/3 is very poor. Their basic need basket is just fruit, vegetables, basic food, and basic clothing. They're not the customers as of now for e-commerce.
Sure.
They will continue to buy from the traditional outlets. So I think the debate many times gets blurred in terms of, because we try to generalize some micro trend to a national trend. I personally feel, and we have given enough data out over the last 10 years, it is our projection that the mom and pop store absolute numbers in next 10 years will double from the current numbers, double.
Okay.
And the reason is very straightforward. It's not a zero-sum game when it comes to consumption in India. 8% real GDP growth rate, 4% inflation, giving 12% nominal growth rate.
Sure.
The current market of $530 billion of merchandise sending will actually increase to more than $1,200 billion over the next 8-10 years' time. Modern retail in whichever format, physical, digital, even if it takes up 200 billion of that, you're adding a delta of 700 billion.
No, but we'd like to talk about the differentiator in the digital and the physical, and that's the important bit. While you're saying the overall pie is going to boom, it will explode, will digital grow much faster, perhaps because it's more nascent and it's a new industry, than the physical? That remains the key question.
Yeah, but from a low base.
Right.
So
The base
percentages,
remains
yes.
low. Right.
But would India be transformed in the next 10 years because of E? Maybe Delhi would, maybe some parts of Mumbai would, or a few cities. But you can't aggregate. That was a limited point I was trying to make.
Sure.
It's exciting times, though.
Rajat Wahi, if you could also share some insights into the way we are seeing retail getting transformed in India. While Mr. Singhal shared that there are different reasons why people may go online, that we are far away from addressing the needs of someone, say, living in Muzaffarnagar, who has to just go ahead and buy traditional fruits, vegetables. But do you think we are moving in a direction with the kind of explosion we've seen in handheld devices, with the kind of adoption of technology we're seeing in India, where even that day is not too far away, where we'll be seeing basic fruits and vegetables shopping online happening across India, across rural markets?
I think fruits and vegetables is a bit of a stretch right now. People are going to try that. I think the big factor that drives e-commerce today is I think there, in India, the footprint of organized retail is very, very, very less. Back to what Arvind is talking about. Today, you don't have availability of products. Look at the categories that do well on e-commerce: electronics, apparel, books. How many bookstores do we have in India? How many apparel stores do we have in India? I mean, most of the biggest brands, they will have 100, 200 outlets. It's very hard for shoppers to reach product. Today, people buy on e-commerce because it's convenient, because there's access, they have an assortment available, and because they have very, very competitive price. So I think these are factors that drive retail everywhere, and I think that's what's sort of, in a way, driving a lot of the consumption on e-commerce, where there's availability, where the footprint of retail is not that broad, and that's enabling people to be able to go and buy. It's also a big factor, back to what Arvind was talking about and what Kunal mentioned, is the point that, today, convenience is a big point for shoppers. They don't want to waste time trying to find a parking place, going to a mall, going through a lot of traffic. If I know the product I want to buy, why should I not buy it and get it delivered home?
Sure.
And sort of that links into another thing that we keep forgetting about, that there are about 70, 80 million people who are above 60 years old in India. I mean, the whole experience of going out shopping, getting into a car, driving to the nearby store, trying to park, go through a security in a mall, these are big obstacles to purchase. We have not made shopping easy in India for many, many years. And to that extent, e-commerce fills that gap by enabling people to get access very, very comfortably and at a very competitive price.
So are you seeing a shift happen, is the question I posed even to Mr. Arvind Singhal. He is saying it doesn't matter, you've got the overall pie growing. But are you seeing that clear shift happen, at least in certain markets?
Absolutely. I think there is some shift. The point today is that modern retail accounts for 12% of the total retail in India. Right. E-commerce today, depending on what numbers you believe, between 1 to 2%. So the pie is going to grow.
Would you believe that number, Kunal? 1 to 2%? Yeah. Okay.
So e-commerce today is definitely maybe taking up some of the business from modern retail or organized retail, but organized retail needs to grow fast as well. And today, I think in India we have a two-horse race. We have organized retail up against online retail, or offline and online. And I think it'll be interesting to see how organized retail now takes up the mantle and adapts. Because last 2 years, we've hardly seen any growth because of real estate issues and all the other challenges. And they need to be able to offer a better product to shoppers, more service, data analytics. I think one of the biggest things Kunal will talk about is data. They sit with a lot of data, they mine the data, and all of these things help sort of drive that.